Good morning, students. So, in the last class we discussed the Einstein's quadratic equation. So, now in today's class we are discussing the dual nature of matter. So, as you all know that a matter is anything which occupies a space is called as a matter. So, the topic itself is studying, the heading itself is studying that matter is also having a dual nature. Matter is also having a dual nature. So, as we know that light exhibits, always light exhibits dual nature. Light exhibits dual nature. That means the light is having a dual nature. Okay, it is having a dual nature. That means it behaves as a particle and also as a wave, but not simultaneously. Okay. So with the recognition of the dual nature of this light, okay. So what we said, what I said that here, the light is showing a dual nature. The light exhibits a dual nature. That means it is having a both nature. One is particle nature and also a wave nature, but not simultaneously. So now, in the year 1924, Louis de Broglie proposed a hypothesis. So what is that hypothesis? What he said that according to his hypothesis, what he said that if energy is showing a dual nature, that means radiation or light is showing a dual nature, then the material particle also should show a dual nature. It will also show a wave nature. That is his hypothesis. Once again, I am repeating here. In year 1924, when the Louis de Broglie, according to his hypothesis, he said that if light is exhibiting a dual nature, that means energy is exhibiting a dual nature, then the material particle also shows a, that is what we can say, that is wave nature. Material particle will also exhibit a dual nature. So his hypothesis is based on two assumptions. So what are those two assumptions? That always, according to his assumption, universe is made up of two entities. Universe is made up of two basic entities. What are those? One is matter and the other one is energy. That means radiation. So according to these assumptions, so what he said that universe is made up of two basic entities. One is matter and the other one is energy, that is called as radiation. And the second assumption it is that what he says that the first one is universe is made up of two basic entities, and what are those two basic entities? Matter and energy. Energy means here radiation. Okay, energy means here radiation. And the second assumption what it says that nature always loves symmetry. Nature loves symmetry. So what is that? If the light is exhibiting a dual nature, then the material particle also should exhibit a dual nature. That means nature always loves the symmetry here. These are the two assumptions. On these two assumptions only, based on these two assumptions only, Louis de Broglie what he said, that material particle also shows that is wave nature. It is also having a wave nature. Okay, so the wavelength which is associated with the matter is called as, that is what we can say, that is matter waves. The waves which are associated with the material particles are called as matter waves, or we can also call it as a de Broglie waves. Also you can call it as a de Broglie waves. Waves which are associated with the material particle is called matter waves or a de Broglie waves. Okay, and the wavelength which is associated with the material particle, that is called as de Broglie wavelength. It is called as a de Broglie wavelength. De Broglie wavelength, which is indicated by lambda. So always we denote wavelength with lambda symbol. Okay. So what is the de Broglie wavelength here? Okay. So the de Broglie wavelength can be written as lambda is equal to h by p. Okay. So this will be derived in the next class. Okay. In the next upcoming topic we will be having the expression for the de Broglie wavelength. So this is what the expression for the de Broglie wavelength is, lambda is equal to h by p, where h is the Planck's constant, p is the momentum. Here. Okay, so this is what de Broglie, according to his hypothesis, he said that if light is exhibiting a dual nature, then obviously the material particle also will exhibit a wave nature. So that is what he hypothesized, and based on these two assumptions only, he said that the material particle, that is matter, is also having a dual nature. So according to the Louis de Broglie. Okay. So one thing we should remember that. So I am writing a note here. One thing we should remember that always this wavelength, that is lambda, is smaller for heavier particle. Okay, this lambda is always smaller for heavier particle. So जितना ज़्यादा heavier particle होगा उतना कम wavelength होगा. Okay, so lambda is smaller for heavier particle. So how, let us I'll explain how this lambda is smaller for heavier particle by giving an example. Okay, so let us discuss. We'll have an example. I'll explain how this lambda is going to be smaller for heavier particle by giving an example. Suppose, for example, we are considering an object here. Okay, an object of mass. An object of mass 0.1 kg, which is moving with velocity v equal to, that is 20 meter per second. So I am explaining how this lambda is going to be smaller for a heavier particle by giving an example. So let us, we are considering an object of mass 0.12 kg, which is moving with a velocity, that is v equal to 20 meter per second. We know that momentum means here, momentum means mass into velocity. That is, mass is how much? 0.12 and velocity is 20 meter per second. So if we multiply this one, then we will be getting, that is 2.4 kg meter per second will be our momentum. Right? So this is the momentum which we got. Now we know that the de Broglie wavelength expression, that is lambda is equal to h by p. Here h is equal to 6.63 into 10 to the power of minus 34. Okay, so we can write this as lambda is equal to h is how much? 6.63 into 10 to the power of minus 34 as a Planck's constant divided by momentum is how much? It is 2.4. So after calculation you will be getting that is 2.76 into 10 to the power of minus 34 meter. So this will be the wavelength of an object of having mass that is 0.12 kg, which is moving with a velocity of 20 meters per second, whose wavelength is how much? 2.76 into 10 to the power of minus 34. So from this answer we can conclude that this wavelength is very small. It is very small. So it cannot be measurable here. Okay. So this is the reason we can say that here for macroscopic particles, which you are observing in your day-to-day life, whose wavelength is always negligible. That is having very less. Okay. So macroscopic particles का जो wavelength होता है बहुत small होता है. So this is what we can say that which is negligible. If we are having a mass very less, if mass is less, then wavelength can be measurable. If mass is more, then the wavelength will be smaller, which is almost not measurable, which cannot be measurable. Okay. So this is how the de Broglie explained the wavelength of matter. Okay. So once again I am telling the what he explained that de Broglie, he said that if light is exhibiting a wavelength, then material particle also should exhibit a wavelength. So based on the two assumptions that the universe is always made up of two basic entities, one is matter and the other is the energy. So nature always loves a symmetry. If radiation is having a wavelength, then material particles should also have a wavelength. Okay. So this is the our expression, that is de Broglie expression is lambda is equal to h by 2. So lambda is always smaller for heavier particle. So that is what we got. Lambda is equal to 2.76 into 10 to the power minus 34 meter, which is very small for a heavier particles. Hence this is the reason. So macroscopic particles का जो wavelength होता है वो बहुत negligible होता है, small होता है. So that's why we are neglecting it. Okay. Thank you. So in the next class we discuss the expression for de Broglie wavelength. Thank you. Hi sir. You say to